Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the three-piece combo. This is an opportunity for all of the youth ministries of Zion Church to get together, to hang out, to talk about some really dope topics that we think are going to be a benefit to you guys. We have a little bit of a switch up in the combo today. We normally go, little white meat, dark meat, got the breast, the wing, and the thigh. This week we switching up. Pastor Steph cannot join us today, so we got a little substitute in the mix that I'm about to introduce in a little bit. But before we jump into introductions, guys, today what we're going to be getting into is the topic of relationships. We know we just had Valentine's Day, and some of y'all was booed up, some of y'all was boo-hooing. I don't know which one you were, but hey, it don't matter. All glory to God. We're about to have some fun. We're going to get into some really cool conversation today. And with that being said, I want to introduce to you guys some of the coolest people that you'll ever meet on the face of the planet. I want to introduce my brother from another mother. Give it up all the way from Fort Washington by way of Waldorf, middle of nowhere. Can you guys give a shout out to my brother and director of youth ministries for Zion Church, Fort Washington, Pastor Dondre McGee?
All of the shade, brother, all of the shade. But you know what? I'm good with it. I'm good with it. It's okay. What's going on, Zion Youth? It's your boy, Pastor Dre, and I'm excited about today. I want to shout out to all of the Remnant FW family, all of the youth, all of the volunteers, Pastor Sean, Pastor D, Remnant and Zion Southside. We in here because Woodbridge is all the way, just out there. But anyway, enough about that. I wanna now kick it to our cousin guest for the day, Deshir. Talk to him. Say what's up to the people, Deshir.
What it do, my Zion off script kids? I miss you guys so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. I know y'all normally see me and Sage on the Shira and Sage show. I know she's somewhere punching the air, but it's my show first. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. We're going to have some fun today. We are going to learn a lot about love and relationship and what not to do. And I'm just ready to kick it off with Dondre and John. So let's do it.
So wait a minute. Before we get, how is it shade? All I said is that you came from Waldorf. I said nothing but great things about your brother. So if that's shade, I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all love. All love. Hey, look, it's about to go down. Y'all know how we start. We got a party started that's about to pop off, and we got some trivia. We got some trivia going on. Now let's go. Let's do like a little flashback situation. Y'all know if you watching Netflix, any type of show on Netflix, like that first 30 seconds be like previously on. So like previously on three-piece combo. The first time we did a trivia with Pastor Steph and our cousin Amani, I don't think that went too well. At least not for Pastor Steph. Because what I hear was Amani crushed it. Right. And then the time after that, it was between Armani and I. We had another trivia that it was some complications and some technicalities that, I'm going to lead a Minister John because, yeah. But now here we are.
I won.
Now here we are to today. And this trivia is going to be between Deshir and Minister John. And we're going to do a little combination situation because it's Black History Month and Valentine's Day was last week. So we about to do a whole mashup. And so I'm ready. Producers, are we ready for the trivia? Let's go. Let's get this trivia up on the screen because it's about to go down. And I hope y'all been studying. Because if y'all get a lot of this Black History stuff wrong, I'm taking y'all black cards today. And fam in the chat, make sure y'all playing along too and putting some of these answers in here. So let's go ahead to the first question on today's trivia. Let's get that. Before actually Black History Month became official in 1976. What was it previously called in 1926? A, Negro History Week, B, Negro Highlight Week, or C, Negro Achievement Week?
That's A-Town, brother.
Okay, Minister John says A.
Do we have to raise our hand? How does this go?
No, you don't have to raise your hand.
So
Go
she
ahead.
can cover the answers the whole time?
Huh?
What?
It's A, but I'm saying, like, do I raise my hand? Like, how does this go? Because
You good. You good. You
okay,
can shout. You can shout your answer out.
All right, bet. Say
So,
less.
producers, both of them chose A, producers. Let's see what our correct answer is.
It's A.
A is correct. Way to go. I am not going to read all of that commentary because you all can read, but just know that A is the correct answer. I do want to shout out our production team for the marvelous job that they did on these questions. Let's get to it. Question number 2. Let's see. Production, please make sure y'all are keeping score of who gets what right and wrong, so we can tally up who our winner is. Perfect. Okay, question number 2. What Black artist was the first to ever win 8 Grammy Awards in one night? A. Oh my. A. Beyonce. B. Kendrick Lamar. Or C. Michael Jackson. I believe we have this year's answer in. Is that correct? Okay.
Does light-skinned Michael still count as a Black artist?
Oh.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that today.
Screaming.
So this year says A. Mr. John, what are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with A2.
Okay. Production, can you reveal the answer, please? Sorry, A is incorrect. Although Beyonce has won 6 Grammys in 2010, she did not win the 8 that was spoken of in the question. The correct answer is what, production? Michael Jackson.
What? The light skin one or the dark skin one?
Well,
Michael, what? Is it Michael? Or is it Kendrick?
No, it was Michael Jackson. And
84, I wasn't even born. That's not fair.
The brother won 8 Grammys that night.
I should have went with my gut. I thought it was a trick question.
No trick questions here. However, you will end up playing yourself. Question number 3. Let's go.
Remember this trick.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't even thought about.
Question number 3. What 2 Black women won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actresses in the 2000s? A. Jennifer Hudson and Monique. B. Octavia Spencer and Halle Berry. Or is it C. Lupita Nyong'o and Whoopi Goldberg?
Is this like the era of the 2000s or the year 2000?
The year 2000.
As 2000s? Because 2000s is usually 2000, 2010.
That's correct.
Okay.
Can we see the answers again? Can I phone a friend?
I'm gonna say B. Halle Berry and Octavia Spencer.
Let's see what the chat is saying. The chat is going with.
I don't think Whoopi has an Oscar.
I see 3.
I think it does.
Does she? I'm thinking A too.
Peter wasn't acting in the 2000s. At least nothing major. She didn't get her until 12 Years a Slave, which was in the 2010s.
And Halle Berry got an Oscar for Monsters Ball. I don't remember when that came out because I wasn't allowed to watch it. But
I want to say it was in the 2000s.
Was it? I still never seen that movie. Okay. Still should. I want to say A, but last time I'm gonna go with A because I know Monique got one for Precious.
Okay.
And I think Jennifer Hudson got one for Dreamgirls. She should have.
So Deshir is going with A and Minister John is going with B. Are those your final answers?
What has
Yep.
Octavia Spencer been in? Jesus, be
All right. Production.
Dreamgirls came out in 2010, by the way. But get your ass this.
Production. Our correct answer is A.
Really?
A. That would be Jennifer Hudson and Monique for Dreamgirls and Precious. All right. Question number 3. No, number 4.
Stop, I thought it came out later than that.
Who said the question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists will we be? Was it A, Martin Luther, or B, Dr. Martin Luther, the King Jr.?
I just love. I got bonus points to whoever in the chat can tell me who Martin Luther is.
I can tell you an extensive.
I bet you can.
I can probably give you the man's biography, honestly, at this point. But I'm gonna go with B because it's Black History Month.
Okay. Mr. John, what's your final answer, buddy?
Just to keep it interesting, I'm gonna go A.
You're gonna go A. All right, production. Our answer to who said the question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists will we be? Is it Martin Luther or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right. I actually want to make things a little more interesting. Let me see. Production, if we could.
Am I winning?
She said, is she winning? Let's see. I actually believe Deshir is winning.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, I like the gang, gang. Cool. Let's go ahead and go to number 5. Let's get through these so we can get to it. Number 5. Who said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? A, Barack Obama, B, John Lewis, or C, James Baldwin. All are which super contributors to Black history, by the way. But who said that? If not us, then who? If not now, then when?
We don't have no lifelines. We can't phone a friend.
The lifeline, let's see. The chat can be the lifeline. What the chat talking about? Who said that? If not us, then who? If not now, then when? Barack Obama, John Lewis, or James Baldwin? I see 2 people said John Lewis.
I already locked it for John Lewis.
Somebody also said Minister John is slipping.
Screaming. Ha!
Who said I'm slipping?
They shall remain nameless.
Brutus?
I would say James Baldwin. That sounds like some James. But Barack Obama was. He was a word.
Good old B.O. Go for it.
So Minister John, what's your final answer?
I've already locked in my final answer.
It was John Lewis, correct?
Yep.
Okay, Deshir, who you going with?
Obama, don't disappoint me. I'm gonna go with President Obama. My favorite.
Okay. Well, the person who said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? Is John Lewis. John Lewis, R.I.P. John Lewis. John Lewis, major contributor to the movement. Let's get to it. Number 6. Who said character, not circumstances, make the person? A, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., B, Booker T. Washington, or C, Langston Hughes?
That sounds like some poetic Langston Hughes type stuff.
The confusion.
Mass confusion.
We were told to practice for history, not to think about quotes.
Yeah.
I was like dates and like
Booker T. Washington. That What was the other option? Booker T. Washington, Langston Hughes,
or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
I feel like we already used Martin Luther King, so I don't
I'm
think
gonna
we
go.
would double back. But knowing
I
one of
love
our
it.
producers, that could be a trick question. Let's go with Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington. Mr. John, final answer.
Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes. The correct answer is Booker T. Washington.
Ooh, I just guessed. I literally just guessed.
All right, let's do this. Let's go to, actually, can we go to question number 8? I would like to go to question number 8.
Why are we skipping 7?
Because I think this is a pretty interesting one. One of the most important and memorable speeches of the Civil Rights Movement, I Have a Dream, was delivered by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington. Did Dr. King have another speech prepared during his March on Washington? True or false?
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with true.
Go with true. Okay. Production. What do we say to that? That is absolutely correct. The I Have a Dream speech was not originally part of the actual speech that Dr. King prepared for that day. And it just goes to show you how greatness can happen in the moment, y'all. If it's in your heart, greatness has the potential to happen right then and there as long as it's in your heart. So let's go ahead and go to some love questions. Can we go to some love questions, production?
Let's do it.
I believe number 10 is the next love question. And it says this: what is Cupid's name in Greek mythology? Is it Eros, Euros, or Venus? Since we're talking about love.
It's A.
Okay, hold on. I feel like I learned this that one time in English class when I wasn't paying attention.
I love this year because you instantly see how she gets into the process of elimination mode. You start seeing the wheels turning. I love it.
I'm gonna go with Eros too.
Okay. Eros. Nobody said Euros.
Isn't that like a form of currency?
That's Euros. And Venus is Roman name for Aphrodite. I know that.
Oh,
and I know Eros is a type of love, but it's normally associated with Cupid, which is why I'm going with that. Euros could be it, but based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to go with Eros.
I'm just following his answer because I don't know.
Love in Latin, and so I'm assuming that's where it's coming from. Could be.
Y'all so smart. Y'all are so smart. I love y'all because Eros is the correct answer. Way to go. Next love question. You commonly hear this term often, but what does BAE stand for? A, before anyone else. B, best at everything. C, belong absolutely to especially you. Or D, but absolutely essential.
I'm gonna go with A because first of all, I didn't know it was an acronym. The second, once again, process of elimination, and we're basic. So before anything else is basic. So you put it all together, and that's my bae.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with A too because 1, C makes no sense. B, when you reword it, go. We ain't having 2 terms for that, and I didn't even read.
Yeah.
Production, bring back the options. Production, I want to see.
That's everything.
It was one of those acronyms you have at work when they really want something to like be a specific acronym, and they stretch language as hard as they can to make it work.
No, for real.
But absolutely essential, like that makes sense.
First of all, you just read it wrong. It's absolutely and especially.
No, I'm talking about D. I thought you said D.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
Where at belong to
But-
what?
They are so
I
confused.
couldn't read it. I wasn't counting D. I just didn't make it that far.
Oh, production. What is the correct answer? Production, please.
Especially you.
Period. Before anybody else, anyone.
Before anyone else. That is Bay. Bay is before anyone else. Production, can we get an update on what the score is? Who's winning? How we looking?
Oh, I'm losing. It's cool.
He said, "Oh, I'm losing."
I don't lose. So
I mean, Tashir, when you don't know the answer, you just wait for me to answer it. So.
I mean that's true, but it's been helping me thus far.
So we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna keep it pushing. Let's go. Let's see. We just did. What does BAE stand for? Let's go. Oh, actually, let's do two more.
That ooh was kind of scary.
Yeah, let's go to the next one, y'all. On average, this is very interesting. I had no idea. But on average, how many marriage proposals are there on each Valentine's Day?
Oh, I think I know this.
Worldwide?
Yes. 500,000, 150,000, or 220,000. Shout out to everybody whose proposal anniversary is on Valentine's Day.
Where did I get this number? Like, how is this a track metric? I don't understand.
Also, don't propose to me on Valentine's Day. Don't do that. No. Mm-mm. Men, boys, listen. Don't propose to your girlfriend on Valentine's Day. It's not like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not original. It's not like you didn't go out of your way. Like, I want us to have a special day. I'm not trying to celebrate with everybody else. No.
Good point.
On my birthday, on graduation, never.
How's your birthday a special day? That's just as cliche.
It is a special, but it's my special day. If you really want to make our proposal, special, propose on your birthday.
Oh.
Let me know you were thinking about me on your birthday. Graduation, that's my special day. Don't do that.
What were the options again?
A, 500,000, B, 150,000, C, 220,000.
I'm gonna go with C, because I feel like there aren't a lot, because men are starting to realize maybe I should not propose on this worldwide commercialized holiday.
I'm gonna go with B.
Woo-hoo. Man, they got a lot to say about this one. Production.
I need receipts on how they got this number.
Production, what is the final answer? Talk to us.
Like they just
the final answer is C. 220,000 is correct. All right, last question, because I think this is actually helpful information. What do yellow roses symbolize? A, companionship, B, friendship, or C, besties?
Isn't C and B the same thing? Well, no, not technically.
Nah.
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay.
I actually have some yellow roses right here.
Oh, look at that. So Mr. John said A, and Dashir said B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, the final answer is B, friendship.
I think I'm the GOAT, but you know. Self-proclaimed.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the final score for today's trivia is 9-7.
Ooh. So what type of prize do I win for this?
Oh, Dashir just knew it was her. She started dancing. Let me see that. Let me see that move one more time, Dashir. I didn't catch it. I love it. I love it. So that is our trivia for today. Black history and love. Dashir, what's up next for the people? Talk to them.
I am so excited for praise and worship. And shout out to Demont because who does it better? And this is one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite gospel artists, Jonathan McReynolds. It's I'm Not Lucky, I'm Loved.
Maybe I succeeded a little. I jumped up from the floor to the middle. And you think I want the credit, I don't. Cause the glory ain't made for me, no. I know who sits on the throne, who makes the stage and writes the songs. Oh, and I know I couldn't do this on my own. And as much as I complain, I've seen more sunshine than rain. I could thank my lucky stars, but that's not where the blessings are. No, they come from the potter's heart, not the sky, not chance. But truth is, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. If you're glad about it, say I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Oh, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Yeah, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Ooh, yeah.
Today I'm in a happy place, and I know it didn't happen by mistake. I love how he wrote my life, and I love how he sees my heart. So I fall to my knees and I say that I'm grateful for every morning star. I don't think my lucky stars, no, that's not where my blessings are. No, they come from my Father's heart, not the sky, not chance. The truth is, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Oh, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Ooh, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Oh, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Yeah. From the very beginning, this life that I'm living was part of your plan all along. So I don't thank my lucky stars, cause that's not where my blessings are. No, they come from the Father's heart, not the sky, not chance. The truth is, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Yeah, yeah. I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Hey, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. I'm not lucky, I'm loved.
Say yeah, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus good thing, my lucky stars, 'cause that's not where the blessings are. No, they come from your heart, not the sky, not chance, but truth is, I'm not lucky, I'm loved. I'm not lucky,
Whoo. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm not lucky, I'm loved. Shout out to Jonathan McReynolds. I love it, man. One of my favorite artists out there. So we're excited today, Zion Youth. We are excited today because we get to have a conversation about something that's kind of taboo in the church, where, you know, we talk about relationships. But I believe with these two, Minister John and Deshir and myself, I believe there's going to be some nuggets that are going to be dropped today about relationships that I think are going to blow you away. So, you know, get your device, make sure you got your notes app open on your phone, your tablet, whatever you're using, and get ready to put some jewels in there, y'all, because it's about to get real. It's going to be a good mix of fun, funny, hysterical, and yo, that's good right there. Like, the amount of times you're going to say, yo, that's good right there, is going to be, you're just not going to be able to count. So with that being said, let's get into what we call the text message. This is where we're constantly going back and forth about relationships, and we're going to be dropping some commentary, dropping some scriptures, some insight, even some personal testimonies. And this is, I really enjoyed that, because I believe today, as believers, a lot of Christians take you to the scriptures first before showing you their scars. And I believe there's a lot of value in showing people our scars first. Like, yo, this is where I messed up. I didn't start out here. I didn't start living out the scriptures like off the break. Like, this is where I learned. This is how I grew. So let me show you my scars first, and then I'll show you some scriptures. And I believe that's absolutely valuable. So I want to ask this first question. Give us your best pickup line. Your best pickup line. And I'm gonna go to Minister John first, because I see the wheels turning in Deshir's head right now. So Minister John, your best pickup line, go for
it. Well, I'm here. What are your other two wishes?
Oh no.
That was good. That was good. I thought that was solid, bro. I thought it was solid. This year, you're not feeling that.
But I got one for y'all though. I got one.
Okay, all right, come on with it. What's yours?
This can only be used in the DMs. Okay, right? So you go into a person's DM, and you know how, like, when you at the vending machine.
It's not a pickup line. This is a pickup situation.
He right. So you go to the vending machine and you pick a number, you like B5, and they're gonna be like, what? And you was like, oh, I was just picking my snack. Bam! Don't use that. That probably won't work, but I've always wanted to try it. But you know, I mean, if they a snack, they're a snack.
I can't deal with either one of y'all. I can't deal with either one of y'all.
Dre, I feel like you gotta put one in the mix, bro.
Yeah.
I got it. Don't threaten me with a good time now. Okay? So here we go. Girl, let me get up in the camera. Girl, if I could rearrange the alphabet, I'll put you and I together.
I'm sorry, this is no longer 1999.
You pulled that. You had to dust that one off to pull it out.
From 1999.
Oh, you're not satisfied with that one this year? I got another one for you.
No.
You got one from this decade?
Fellas, take note.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, if you was a booger, I'll pick you first. Oh.
I would block you. I would block you. I would.
Hey, this year, go ahead.
For real.
Don't do me like that.
That's terrible. Has that ever worked?
Of course.
He got like 12 kids, so.
Hey.
Yo, y'all crazy, man. All right, so look, let's get to this because I think this is a question that is talked about often. Should young people date? Should young people date? How would you answer that question? What are your thoughts on that? This year, I want to come to you first. Should young people date?
I say yes, but they have to know exactly what dating is, how to date, how to respectfully date. Because nowadays I feel like these kids don't be dating, they be married, okay? And it's just like you're young, have fun. Like sometimes you will be with this person for the rest of your life, but more than likely you won't. So just, they're your friends. Date, but have fun, but don't put your all into, don't be obsessed. Like, don't be obsessed. But I say yes, you can date. You can date.
Yeah, okay. I think with the right boundaries in place and with the right expectations, it can be a healthy thing. You just have to make sure you're mature enough for it and that you got the right system in place around you.
Excellent. I love those questions. Y'all made some great points this year. You made a point where, saying like, you got to know exactly what you want, which is absolutely huge because, they're even like older folks who have no clue what they want. And so, maturity is definitely a big thing. And Mr. John, you mentioned with the right boundaries. So that's going to lead me to our next question, which is, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about boundaries. What are boundaries, right? And then talk about some examples of boundaries and why are boundaries important. And I'm going to start with you, Mr. John.
I think for me, one of the ways it was presented when I was younger, and I've always liked this, is a boundary is a pre-choice choice. It's a choice that you make for how far you're going to go in different situations and how you're going to respond in different situations before you get there. Because if you allow yourself to get to a moment where emotions take control, you're going to respond based on your emotions. And so when we're talking about boundaries, there can be a ton of them around physical contact, around how much time you're going to spend, around how late you're going to be on the phone, around, what type of situations you're going to be in over there, where you guys spend time. I feel like that can be a whole three-piece in itself, just like what are some good relational boundaries. But it's around like how far are you willing to go in different situations and what are you not willing to do. And most of you guys can go from there, and we know what a lot of the biblical boundaries are, but the Bible doesn't cover everything when it comes to dating, especially nowadays. When you texting, how you responding to folks, those types of things.
Got it. Deshia, what are your thoughts?
I think it's pretty much the same, but for me, it's drawing a line before I even get to that place. Like I need to know what I want and how I'm going to get there and what I'm not going to do. And growing up, I wasn't a person who set boundaries. So when it came to dating, friendships, it was just why am I experiencing this hurt, or why am I in this place? It was because I wasn't setting boundaries. And honestly, it wasn't until recently that I really learned, what boundaries are, how to set them, how to stick to them when I set them, because that's one of the most important things. You can have boundaries all day, but if you don't stick to your boundaries, then what's the point of having them?
Yo, say that again. Sticking to the boundaries. That's so major this year. I'm gonna tell y'all. Well, first, hold up real quick. I just gotta pause for a second because the homie AJ, I gotta give it to him. This line that he just put in the chat, I'm good with. Brother AJ, look, AJ, that was tough. He said the line that he put in the chat was, I wish I could show you my world, but you got a mirror? Woo-hoo!
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
good, AJ, man. Look, that's solid. That's solid. But to what you were saying, to share about sticking to those boundaries, I have a friend. So years ago, he was dating this girl, and he said, man, look, like a boundary that I have is I do not touch my girlfriend with an open palm. Like I don't I don't put my arm around her waist. I don't touch, like I don't rub her arm. Like we don't hold hands. I do not touch her with an open palm. And I was like, bro, like that's weird. Like what you mean? So like I don't get it. And he said, Dre, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I do, it's a problem. That's a problem for me. He said, I'm gonna lose my self-control, and that's a problem. And then I started thinking, like, you know what? That boundary for him is extreme, but I get it. I get it, because that's a boundary to keep him in line and to keep him honoring God in his relationship. Now, I can get there. I can honor God in my relationship, but like I don't have to do what he's doing. So that's the thing that I learned was this: there's no boundary too extreme if it keeps you to the point where you're honoring God.
Exactly.
Like that, like if that's what you got to do to honor God and keep God first in your relationship, and he say, you know what, good job, Mr. John, good job this year, good job, Dre, way to go. If he's proud of you in that boundary, go for it, regardless of who says what, because that could have been peer pressure on my part, saying, bro, that's weird. Why would you, like, that's your girl, why are you acting like that? I was totally wrong for saying that. If that's a boundary that's going to keep him and his girlfriend, honoring God through their relationship, then so be it. Yeah. So I love what you said about just sticking to those boundaries that you set up. I love it. So, what'd you say, Minister John?
No, I was just commenting on what you were saying. I love that, because I think that there's a lot of times where we get into situations where our boundaries go kind of beyond, and we just have to know what we need. Everybody's different. There's stuff that, some people can get away with doing that are not. We all have that thing that triggers us, and it might be something weird, and you got to know well enough to know where to put those lines in the sand.
Absolutely. And so, kind of leaning into that commentary a bit about honoring God with your relationship, what advice would you give to youth watching now, as far as how do I make sure that my relationship honors God? This year, I'm gonna come to you.
Okay, so being humble, open, and transparent. When I was y'all age, I'm not gonna lie, I was ugly. I was not cute. So when I got to college and I got a little cute, I was like, oh, all these boundaries that I had set that I didn't really set, I was just like, I don't want to do this, like It out the window. So I think what's really important is to know, like, one, your body is a temple. And I know people say that, but it's the truth. Like, to me, there are plenty of horrible sins, but like reading that, a sin against the body, like that hits different when it's like, dang, like I'm not only sinning, like I'm sinning against my body, like this thing that God made holy and pure. So it's just like, you really have to know what you're okay with, and do not let anybody pressure you into anything that you're not okay with. Like, I know sometimes it's like, dang, I'm the only one of my friends that's not doing anything, or or doing this or doing that, because I know the little cute pictures that Megan Thee Stallion be posting and everybody else. And sometimes even as an adult, like I feel that pressure, like, dang, like, is my Instagram like cute enough? Like, am I showing enough skin? But at the end of the day, the person that's for you don't care if you got on a turtleneck or a bikini top. Like, know what you're okay with and be okay with saying no. Like, no is a great word. Learn it as a teenager. Learn how to say no. Like, some people may clown you for it. Some guys and some girls may dump you for it. But if you're not okay with it, don't pretend you are, because at the end of the day, the person is going to walk away feeling fine, and you're the one that's going to feel the shame and the guilt of not saying no. And I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Minister John, what are your thoughts? How do I make sure that my relationship honors God?
I'm gonna answer this question in reverse.
Okay.
I think one of the things that you can do to ensure that it doesn't is follow this piece of advice that I've seen floating around the internet a lot, and that's this idea of like moving in silence and moving in secret. Like, oh, y'all ain't gonna even know I'm window buying, so I popped up engaged, type all that foolishness. And I think when you do that, the idea of keeping your relationship secret, that's the easiest way to make sure that you mess up in a relationship. You have to make sure that you have the right people around you advise you in a relationship. And this goes beyond just like, keeping it godly. This goes to the point of keeping it safe. Because a lot of people fall into issues of abuse in relationships for the same reason. So tight with your relationship, and there's no one that's in it that can give you advice that tells you you're being stupid. Because when we fall in love, when we fall for somebody, a lot of times logic and common sense are the first thing that go out the door. And we end up doing some dumb things. There's some people who I've seen in relationships that have done some dumb things because they're in love. And so one of the most important things I think you can do to ensure that your relationship is healthy and it honors God is to make sure that people have access to your relationship. And when I say people, I mean people who have the right intentions for your relationship, right? Because what you don't need is your ratchet friends telling you to be more ratchet, right?
Yes.
But having folks, be it someone older who can kind of, even people who are the same age as you, but they're on that same path to try to be right, and having those people there where you guys might, double date, or you might just like hang out together, or someone who you can run situations by and be honest and open with. I think it's one of the most incredibly important things. Probably because it's all the time, iron sharpens iron, quarter three strands. Like, being in a relationship is one of the biggest things that the Bible tells us in order to do right in general. And I think we mess up because we don't apply that to our relationships. We think it's all cute to kind of be, oh, this is, ain't nobody gonna know about my boo. Why? What you hiding?
Wow. This year, come back. That was so loaded, Joe. Like, oh my gosh. So I want to toss it back to Deshir to talk a little more, or if you have anything to expound upon that, Deshir, what would you add?
So for my females, let me tell you something. Some of the dumbest decisions I've ever made in relationships were when I was keeping it a secret. When the people that were holding me accountable had been said, stop messing with him, leave him alone, let it go. And I was just like, they don't know him like I know him. Like, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my boo. Like, we go through it. And he's a horrible person, but they don't know him like I know him. And some of the worst decisions that I've ever made, some of the worst choices were when I was like, I'm not going to tell the people that's holding me accountable, because I know what they're going to say. Like, I know they're going to try to talk me out of it. I know they're going to be like, what's up with you? You know better than this. And I kept doing it, and it kept getting worse. Why? Because I was keeping it a secret, and it was just like, it was blowing me up on the inside, because I couldn't even go to the people that I loved the most to tell them what was going on or what I was experiencing, because I was keeping it a secret, because I felt like they was going to judge me or they was going to hate on me. But really, they were trying to keep me from making dumb decisions. And it's just like, that's why God puts these people in our lives, not to judge us, not to hate on our relationship, or whatever you think it is. It's people holding you accountable, making sure that you aren't making decisions that are going to ruin your life, that are going to scar you, that are going to put you in a place of hurt with like to no return. Like, listen to your friends. It may come out harsh. It may not be what you want to hear, but I promise you, God is using them to tell you, get to stepping, scram, run, get away from this person. So that's all I want.
Can I throw something else in there?
Come on, brother, go ahead.
I think one of the other things that's really important is like listening to an authority figure when it comes to people, especially one that's the opposite gender. So fellas, if your mama don't like her, that should tell you something. Ladies, if your daddy don't like him, that should tell you something. Now, we don't all have two-parent households for whatever reason, or, you know, our opposite gender parent might be a clown, but you should have somebody of the opposite sex that you can look up to, an adult that whose opinion you respect, that you should be clear folks by, and listen. Like if your dad has a bad feeling about him, so dude is a clown, he's not trying to hate on you. He just knows game.
Yep.
And like, you think you don't know better than your daddy when it comes to a dude. You don't. I'm sorry. Same thing, fellas. You don't know better than your mama. Yeah, but you just don't understand it. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
We see it from a mile away.
Look, I know it's stupid. We hate it. We don't want to listen to our parents, especially as we get older, because we think we've grown and we know better than they do. But they done did everything you done did. Your parents was in the club too, backing it up to salt and pepper. They was just as ratchet as your friends every day. They done been through it all. They know what it's like. They grew from it, and now they're trying to keep you from making some of the mistakes that they made, and they can teach people when you're blinded by how cute they are.
Excellent. I love it, man. Y'all are going in, y'all. I want to change lanes a bit, and I want to ask you this because I believe. Well, actually, let me just say this: what scripture would you provide? What scripture would you provide from the Bible that speaks to how you should, handle relationships, or a good scripture to attach to relationships? What scripture would you share there? Because obviously it's wisdom that y'all are sharing now. Minister John, is wisdom that you said comes from our parents. This year you said is wisdom that comes from, our friends. And the Bible even says that there's wisdom or safety in the multitude of counsel. So, that's in Proverbs, where it talks about us having, wisdom around us to be able to, speak to those situations that may not be good for us. So I definitely think that's wise just from that aspect. But what scripture or scriptures would you all use as it pertains to relationships? Deshir?
So I know that everybody, and I wasn't going to use this, but in the conversation that we're in, I think that I should. It is, oh my gosh, the scripture reference is drawn blank, but it's the one that everybody knows, like love is patient, love is kind. Like that is the best way to describe love, like, and not just relational love, like friendship love with your parents, love, like just all around love, because love is patient, love is kind. Like, I hate the narrative that most of my generation and even the younger generations have, that love has to be hard and you gotta stay 10 toes down. No, you don't. My 10 toes is gone. Okay. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not. Okay. So it's 1 Corinthians 13:4. Like, your love does not have to be hard. Like, are you going to experience some things? Yes. But you're going to know, like, the person who loves you is going to be kind. And sometimes their words may be harsh, but it's out of love. Like, that's all that I can really say. Like, that's my best reference because it's true. Like, it's the truest verse ever when it comes to love.
Solid. Minister John, what scripture would you use, sir?
I think I'm going to come from Proverbs. It was one that I heard a lot growing up. And I think it's important. It's chapter 4, verse 23. It's above all else, guard your house, guard, rewind. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you flow from it. And I've heard another verse before, and it flows from all springs of life. Um, you have to be careful with your heart. You have to be careful with who you allow in and who you allow access to, because everything you do truly does come from a place of how healthy your heart is. Having the wrong partner in your life can take you off track of where God has for you. Having, like, we see all the time, like, oh, somebody has that right woman or right dude by their side, and they accomplish great things. The opposite is just as true. There's a lot of people who had amazing potential who hooked up with Bama and messed around and got themselves into some foolishness. There's a lot of heartache you can experience. There's a lot of drama you can put yourself through. And it can also mess up future relationships too. But guard your heart. Proverbs 4:23.
Excellent. I want to shift a bit, because in church circles and youth groups, we often talk about relationships from the standpoint or the perspective of don't do. And that's the tenor and the tone of pretty much the conversation. Don't do. But what are some do's? In other words, fill in this blank for me. In order to have a positive relationship or God honoring relationship, be sure to include blank. What would you put in that blank? In order to have a positive God honoring relationship, be sure to include blank, and then explain that answer.
I'll go first.
Yep, go ahead, Deshir.
So for me, it would be to know your worth. Know who God created you to be. Know who you are before you try or allow anyone else to define you. So for me specifically, like I said, I was not the cutest thing in high school. Okay. I know that. I can say that honestly. And when I did start getting the attention that I desired in high school, it was just like, oh my gosh, boys are talking to me. Boys are giving me attention. So it was like all that I was believing was everything that they were saying. And that's what I was finding my value, not in the joyful, hilarious, kind, caring woman that God had made me to be. I was finding it in, oh, like she my this, she my that, like she stayed 10 toes down. And that's what I prided myself on. And there was so much more that I had to offer. But when you don't know your worth and you don't know who God called you to be, and you're allowing someone else to define you, you shrink yourself into what that person thinks you are, and you define yourself by what that person thinks you are. And that's not what it is. This ain't that. So know your worth. Like that will truly help you in all relationships, friendships, love relationships, and like knowing myself and loving myself and knowing that God will always come first in all relationships has really helped me to have honest, caring relationships, fun relationships, like all of the above. And it just makes everything better. Like when you're rooted in your self-worth and you know how much you are, like how excellent you are, like that will truly be, yeah.
Got it. Love it. Minister John.
You said, repeat the sentence for me.
Sure. In order to have a positive God honoring relationship, be sure to include or be sure to blank.
In order to have a God honoring relationship, be sure to include God. No.
Duh.
I feel like that was a little on the nose, but I will say this. Yeah, that's true, but I want to dig in that. I would say be sure to include fun and friends. I think one of the things there's a lot of talking heads on relationships in Christianity. And honestly, most of them I wouldn't listen to, knowing what I know now. There's a lot of people tell you how to do relationship, and it's just there's so much pressure we put on teenagers where it's just like, oh, like we hear a lot of we didn't get into say a lot of terms around like courtship and stuff, and it's like, oh, you're dating to get married. It's like you're 15, like chill. Like they need to be yourself, they need to have fun, have all the boundaries, everything else we said, but this is an opportunity for you to explore and get to know people, to make new friendships, and to try those friendships out as relationships, and to see who you are, to see how you fit in relationships. There was a lot of stuff like my like wish list and my you know whatever on what the type of woman I wanted has changed drastically because I've gotten those things in relationships and found out they're not all they're cracked out to be. And I think have fun. Like you're a teenager, you're young. Like you do not have to know that this person is the one in order to go out with them and have dinner. Like it's not that deep. And I think when we put that much pressure on folks, it I used to unlike my co-host today, I was always a snack, but I was just unsure of myself and I was shy. So I would get so hyped up where there would be these young women where I would meet and we would kick it off, we would be good friends, and I would want to holler, but I was like, well, is this person the one? And then you kind of get so caught up in that mindset that you mess around and just you miss the boat. And I think, it is what it is. Just have fun, have friends, go out with groups, just try different relationships, keep it open, keep it light. Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
I'm mad that you've always been a snack. So I'll start there. And then B, man, you all dropped so many nuggets today. So definitely shout out to Deshir for coming on, holding it down. Mr. John, shout out to you for dropping those nuggets. I think just to put a bow on the conversation, I'll offer just a quick word for the guys and the girls. For the girls, the lower the standard, the longer the line. The lower your standards are, the longer the line of guys will be. I mean, you got to think about it. There's certain reasons why, you've probably heard this before, but why certain cars don't advertise on television. And typically those are the higher end, the higher marketed value vehicles. And they don't have to advertise because they know their true value. And for those individuals who know and who own those cars or go to purchase those cars, they understand the value. So what I'm saying is, if the standards are low, then there's going to be guys knocking at the door, trying to connect, trying to link up. But the higher your standards are, and when you maintain those standards, you will find yourself in a better position, than others. For the guys, I would say this: until she's your wife, treat her like somebody else's. Until she's your wife, treat her like somebody else's. So understand that is your sister in Christ. And I love what Minister John said, have fun. And I love what Deshir said, go out on dates, but with boundaries and in groups. That's major. Until she is your wife, she is somebody else's wife. Treat her as such. That is your sister in Christ. Enjoy just the totality of who that young lady is. And for the sisters, enjoy the totality of who that young guy is, who that gentleman is. And I really believe, y'all, that we can have some solid relationships, not even in a dating context, but just in the context of being relational, period. Just having healthy relationships as individuals. And that's just kind of what I want to leave us on. Man, today was absolutely amazing. I pray that somebody was touched by this, somebody was challenged by this, and that somebody y'all can take this and share it with your peers, and that this would just bless somebody for sure. Man, shout out to our production team for crushing it every month. Shout out to Minister John. Shout out to Deshir for coming on and holding it down for the 3-piece combo today. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Man, we love y'all, and we will see y'all next time.
Hey, one more thing though.
What's up?
Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got some more content that's going to be popping out to you guys. We want you guys to go ahead and be able to get those notifications when we go live and whatnot. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys can be the first people to know when we're on for the next 3-piece and beyond. So we got some new content coming in 2021. You don't want to miss it.
Oh, yes. All right, fam. Take it easy. Love y'all. Be safe.